Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to make some beef and pork Polish sausage kielbasa with pepper jack cheese. Let's get into it. I'm using 10% of the weight of the meat in cheese. This is a pepper jack cheese. I'm just cutting up into small cubes, small enough to fit through the horn of my stuffer. I'm using half beef, and this is just ground beef from the store. It's a 75-25 blend. And then I'm using some ground pork shoulder that I ground up myself and then froze. It's about an 80-20 blend. And now I'm going to get my binder, salt, and spices all mixed up. And I will have all of the amounts by percentages in the description. I'm not going to use actual measurements because you may not want to make as much as I do, so it's easier to work off of percentages. These were the last 2 cloves of garlic that I had left from last year. It's a good thing I just recently harvested all of my garlic, and it's been hanging out in the garage curing, and it's just about ready. So it worked out perfectly this year. For the liquid component in the sausage, you can see I'm using beer, but you could use water just as easily if you wanted to. I got the meat in the mixer, got it going, and I'm going to add all of the dry spices, get those incorporated, and then I will add in the beer and garlic. And now I'm just checking my bind, and you see there, it's bound well, it's stuck to my hand, and you've still got good particle definition, so everything looks good. And now I'll just add in the cheese and let the mixer run until the cheese is incorporated, so about 30 seconds or so, and then we'll move on to stuffing. Okay, so I'm going to pack this into the stuffer, trying to avoid air pockets as much as I can. And then I'm going to stuff this into some natural hog casings. These casings have been rinsed well, and they've been in water in the refrigerator overnight with a small amount of baking soda in there, which just makes them really slippery, so they slide easy on the horn and any tangles come undone easily. Stuffing this fairly tight, but you'll see here I squeeze it and make sure I can pinch all the way through. That way I know it won't pop when I link them up. I forgot to hit record when I linked these up, so I'm going to show you here real quick how I do this. I measure out my second link, I twist that, and then I'll measure out to the second link beyond that and twist again, and that's how I do it. If you watch any of my other videos, you'll see how I twist my links. Now that these have been twisted, they go on a rack to dry and into the refrigerator overnight, and then they come back out before smoking and sit in front of a fan for about an hour, just so the skins are nice and dry before they go into the smoker. And that also dries them up enough to where I can cut them into individual links before putting them into the smoker, so they get better flow around them. They get smoke all the way around them. Okay, so now they're ready to go into the smoker. I put them in at 120 degrees for about an hour and a half, and then I bumped it up to 140 degrees for 2 hours. I didn't want these super smoky, so yeah, I didn't smoke them for very long. I used hickory smoke in the electric smoker. After 3.5 hours in the smoker, they are coming out, and we'll get ready for the next step. Next step is, while they're still hot, put them into a vacuum seal bag so that they can go into the sous vide. I set the sous vide at 160 degrees, and I cook these until they reach an internal temperature of 150 degrees. Once that 150 internal was reached, these went into an ice bath, and they sat in here for about 30 minutes just to cool down, stop the cooking, shrink the casings up. And then they go onto a rack, and they sat there for about 6 hours. Air drying them like this is called blooming, and it helps with the color. It doesn't do much for the flavor, but it helps with the color. It gives it that nice, rich mahogany. And you can see that was achieved. And now this is going into the toaster oven at 250 degrees until it reaches an internal temperature of 160 degrees. And here it is coming out, and it looks wonderful. Okay, it's done. It looks good. Let's give it a taste. You can see the cheese is coming out, but it kind of held together pretty well. I kind of had a feeling it was going to be a little runny when I cut into it because, well, it's Monterey Jack cheese. It's melty cheese. So let's see how we did. That is a really good kielbasa with cheese. If you like kielbasa, you'll like this. You can leave the cheese out if you don't like it, but I highly recommend using it. Yeah, so I hope you liked it. The ingredients will be in the description. And leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe if you haven't. And we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.